Hello, good day from wherever you're watching us. You're welcome to our session for today. My name is Choma Odikolo. You're welcome to the Renewed Parent Academy. So say hello, say hi. Let us know where you're streaming from. So where are you joining us from? Let us know. We are happy to have you here. Let us know what are your expectations? Where are you streaming from? What do you expect to pick from our sessions today? All right. So let us know, say hello, say hi, let it be interactive, let us know where you are joining us from. So today we're going to be learning this month in our academy, we'll be learning about mindset and grit, how we can build a positive mindset, how we can build a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset, and how we can build in grit in ourselves as parents, how we can teach our children and help them to build in grit. So today we're going to be discussing about the grit-filled parents. Yes, the grit-filled parents, how we can raise our children by becoming gritty first. How we can raise our children by first of all raising ourselves to be grit-filled first. Now, as a parent, sometimes have you ever looked at your child and say probably your child is struggling in school, or maybe they are struggling with their emotions, or struggling with their friendship, or struggling with something, and you just feel or wish that your child should be more resilient. Do you feel like your child always gives up? Probably they are doing a puzzle, they are doing a toy, and they get to a particular place and they say they are not doing it again. They are tired or they don't want to continue again. Now, what if I told you that the secret to raising a child that doesn't give up, or a child that is resilient, or a child that is emotionally stable, or a child that is focused is you? Yes, it is us. We as parents, we are the secret because we have to model these things to our children. Now, because parenting is not just about what we teach, it's about what we model. So the question is, what are we modeling? What are you modeling as a parent? What are you modeling? Because the conversation here is what you model. So you want your child to persevere. You want your child to stay true to the end. Do you model this? You want your child to be emotionally stable. Do you model being emotionally stable? You want your child to be more resilient. Do you model it? So that is the conversation. The conversation of, do we model these things to our children? Now, most times our children will not always remember what we say. They will not always remember the things we say to them. Yes, sometimes they will, but most times what they are going to pick, what they will never forget, is the way our actions, what we modeled to them, how we are able to stay true during the hard days, how we are able to handle failure, how we are able to handle those their tantrums, how we are able to handle difficult situations, how we are able to stay true even when things were so not looking so good. Probably things, maybe the house was looking scattered and all that. They'll be able to remember how we were able to navigate and handle our emotions in those times. Now, today we're going to learn how we as parents can unlock this mindset of grit. How we can first of all model grit to ourselves, to our children. How we can spark up the inner fire in us that can keep us going, that can help us to persevere, that can help us to stay committed and consistent and not to quit, and becoming those parents that are going to model grit to our children. So what is grit? We've been talking about grit, but we're going to just talk about it briefly. What is grit and why does it even matter? Why do we have to talk about it? Why do we have to build the muscle of grit? Why do we have to teach our children grit? Now, grit is passion and perseverance for long-term goals. So grit is the passion we have, the perseverance we have for our long-term goals, staying true to the very end, not quitting as parent. Now, grit is about staying staying true when things are difficult. Staying true amidst the challenges, staying true amidst the difficult situation. Grit is a mindset of not giving up. That mindset that says, even if I don't feel like it, but I'm not going to give up. Even if I don't feel like it, but I'm not going to quit. Now, as parents, most times we often pursue grit in our children. We want them to be disciplined. We want them to be focused. We want them to be resilient. We want them to do their chores. We want them to finish up on that building block, that puzzle, that activity, the homework you've given them. But we forget most times that grit is caught more than is taught. So grit is caught more than it's taught. So grit is caught in the sense that they want to see us doing it. They want to see us model great. They want to see us doing the same thing we're asking them to do and stay true to the very end. So the thing is that, most times as parents, we'll tell our children, okay, go and do this, go and do that. But our children don't see us doing things and staying true to the very end. So as a parent, do you finish what you start? So you pick up a book that you want to read. Do you finish it? Do you get to the end? But you want your child to pick up a book and finish it. So are you modeling grit? That is the conversation. So our children, they are not so, they want us to teach us, but what matters is the teaching is important. But in addition to the teaching, they want to see us doing those same things and staying true to the very end. So your child wants to see you reading the book and finishing the book. Your child wants to see you doing that same puzzle you're telling he or she to do, doing it with them and staying true to the very end, even when you're tired. So grit is taught, it is fine, but it is so important for our children to see us persevering. It is important for our children to catch us staying true to the end, even when it doesn't look like it, but our children can see that we are staying true to the end. Now, as a parent, do you procrastinate? Do you complain? Do you quit when things get hard? Do you tell yourself, oh, I cannot do this? Do you even internalize these things? Or do you verbally say it around the house, oh, I'm tired, I'm done, I cannot continue, oh, this is so stressful? Do you complain? When you do all those, you're not modeling grit to your children. You're telling them something and you're doing the opposite. So you're not modeling great. So the conversation is, are we modeling these things to our children? We want our children to stay true to do their assignment. Do we stay true and do our own assignment? We want our children to stay true and finish a particular task. Do we stay true and finish our own tasks? We want our children to cover all the books they need to read for the term. Do we stay true and cover the books we are expected to read, probably personal development books or our courses and all that? Or do we complain? Do we procrastinate? You want your child to do a particular chores and to get done with it now, but do you do the same thing? Or do you procrastinate on one thing over and over again? So the conversation is for us to build in this mindset of grit for ourselves first, because parenting is all about modeling. We have to first of all model it first so our children can see us doing it. They can catch us doing it, then we add it alongside with our teaching, with what we tell them. So we're going to learn the grit mindset in action. How can we get this grit mindset in action? Grit is not just a trait. It's a mindset that must be cultivated daily. The mindset must be cultivated daily. The mindset of grit, the mindset of stay true, bringing in your passion, your perseverance towards your long-term goal, not giving up. It's something that we have to do daily. It's not something you're going to say, oh, I did it last year and I'm done. No, it's something that it has to be cultivated daily. So in your daily activity, in your daily routine, do you stay true to the very end? Or do you do one routine and halfway you're done, halfway you're not doing it again, you want to pick up another routine? Those things you've planned to do for the day, do you stay true to the very end? So grit is cultivated daily. It's a mindset that we must build in ourselves daily. Now we're going to talk about the 4 pillars of grit-filled parent. Those things that can make us to model grit, that can build in grit in ourselves. Number 1 is purpose. Knowing why you're a parent. So why are you a parent? Why do you do what you're doing? The truth is that most of us don't, probably our reasons of being parents are different. Okay, the reason for Mr. A being the parent might be different from the reason of Mr. B. So we must first of all understand our purpose for us to build in grit in ourselves as parents first. So why do you do what you're doing? Why are you parenting your children the way you're parenting them? Are you parenting your children the same way because of this, because you see your neighbor doing the same thing, or you see your friend doing the same thing? Are you doing that because that is what you're seeing around? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you parenting the way you are parenting? We must be clear on our goals. We must be clear on our why. We must be clear on what we want to build in our children. We must be clear on the reason we are doing what we're doing. So we have to shift our mindset and tell ourselves as parents, I'm building a legacy. I'm building an eternity. I'm not just building children. I'm not just raising children because every other person is raising a child. We must be clear on our why. When we are clear on our why, it helps us to build in grit. It helps us to persevere. It helps us to stay true, because when we are clear on our why, When every other person is doing the opposite, we are confident in what we're doing because we understand the reason why we are doing what we are doing. So in that thing you're doing, as you're raising your children, you're going to your place of work, anything you're doing, do you understand your why? Are you clear on your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Then the second way we can build a grit in ourselves is practice. Consistent efforts. We must put in the practice. It's good enough to have talent. It's good enough to have to be a genius. It's good enough to know what you need to, to know your stuff, or to know, the people say there's this word, it's good enough to know your audience, but we must always put in practice consistent effort in what we do, in our personal goals. Sometimes it's inconvenient, but we must every day put in the practice to build in grit in ourselves. So for example, if you want to improve on something, you don't just do that thing once in a while. You have to do it consistently over time. There is this rule that says for you to be good at something, you must do it 10,000 hours time. So you have to be consistent in what you're doing. You have to put in the practice to build in grit, because grit grows in routine. So are you showing up daily for yourself? Are you showing up daily for your health? Are you showing up daily for your goals? Are you showing up daily for your growth? Are you showing up daily for your rest? Are you showing up daily for your peace of mind? That thing you want to do, that goal you have, or that thing you want to achieve, are you showing up daily? The choices you're making today, the activities you're making today, does it align with what you want to see in the future? Does it align with where you are going? Because the truth is that our children will always model what we are doing. So if we must build it grit in ourselves, we must always show up daily. We must always tell ourselves, even if it is not convenient, I must show up daily. That is one way for us as parents to build in grit in ourselves. Then the other way we can build in grit is to have hope, believing that our consistent action will pay off in the long run. So as a parent, do you believe that your action is going to pay off in the long run? Or do you just think, okay, let me just do this thing because every other person is doing? We must have hope. Have hope in your goals. Have hope in your dreams. Have hope in that thing you're pursuing. It could be a personal goal. It could be a business. It could be a career. Do you have hope? Do you believe that your actions today is going to yield the result you want to see later? We must have this belief, because when we have this belief, it helps to nurture and it helps to grow our grit. It helps us to persevere. It helps us not to quit. It helps us to get going, because hope is not a feeling. Hope is a decision to expect good things from our efforts. So hope is not the way you feel. Hope is not the way you just feel. Hope is a decision to expect good things from our effort. So we have to decide. We have to make the decision to expect good things from our efforts. So if you're putting in the effort, decide that you're going to get good results from your efforts. Tell yourself that you are going to get good results from your effort. You're putting in the work in your parenting, in raising your children, in your work, in whatever thing you're doing. Have this hope. Make this decision that you're going to get good. You're going to get that the end is definitely going to justify all the effort you've put in. So it's not just about just working and putting in the work and not believing, not deciding that at the end it's going to yield. The end result is going to, it's going to what putting in all the effort. Then the other way we can build a grit in ourselves as parents is identity. Seeing yourself as someone who finishes what they start. Seeing ourselves as parents that finish what we start. So do you finish what you start? Do I finish what I start? Do we finish what we start? Or do we start up something and stop halfway? Do you start up that project and stop halfway? Do you start to read that book and stop halfway? Do you start your master's and stop halfway? Do you start that course, that program, and stop halfway? We must always tell ourselves that even if our emotions are high up, you're tired, you're frustrated, but we must always remind ourselves that our identity is people that are resilient. Your identity should be a resilient person. Our identity should be people or parents that are resilient. Our identity should be parents that are spirit-filled, parents that don't quit. So we must always tell ourselves that we can finish. We must always have this mindset shift that we are good enough to finish. We are becoming who we need to be. So one of the ways we can build a grit in ourselves is to have identity. Telling ourselves that we are people that finish what we start. So is there something? Is there a project you've started and you stopped halfway? I'm just here to remind you that your identity should be someone that doesn't quit. Your identity should be someone that starts and finishes. So go back. Pick up that project, pick up that task and start to do it. Start to run. Or are you writing a book and you've stopped halfway? Are you doing a business and you stopped halfway? What identity do you want to model to your children? Or what identity do you want to portray? The identity should be the identity of someone that doesn't quit, and that is great. That is what we are talking about. Someone that doesn't give up, even when everything looks like it's not working. But you tell yourself, my identity is the identity of someone that is resilient and someone that will not give up. So we must always remind ourselves that grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Success is not final. Failure is not final. It's the courage to continue that counts. It's the courage to continue that counts. So do you have the courage to continue? That is the conversation. That is the question we should ask us. So identify what is that goal you've been doing and you've stopped halfway. Go back and pick it up. What is that thing you need to build your grit muscle? Go back and pick it up and tell yourself as a parent, you finish what you start. Don't give up too easily. Don't tell yourself, I'm going to hit a roadblock and I'll stop. No, don't give up too easily, because when you stop, you send this message to your child that it's okay to stop. What great habits are you going to be building as a parent today? So now we should always remind ourselves, let's not just wish our children were more stronger. Don't wish your child was more resilient. Let's become the strength they follow. So don't wish that your child was more stronger, but rather become the strength that your child will follow. So this week, as you go through your day, look at that activity you need to improve on your grit. You need to work on and build your muscle. Don't wish it. Don't say, how I wish my child was more resilient. How I wish my child could do it. No, be the model. Be the example. Be the strength your child is going to look and follow. So that is the conversation for us today. So as parents, we have to build a grit muscle in ourselves. We have to tell ourselves that we are not quitting. We're not giving up. Even if everything is not working well, as long as we have a goal, we know where we are going to. It is for our goal. It is good. We are not giving up. And that is what we as parents should model to our children. So that is it for me today. So thank you for joining us. I believe you've had a great time. Remember to share this video with your friends, your family. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Renewed Parents Academy. Get a copy of my book, Becoming a Renewed Parent, and start your journey, because the truth is that growth never ends. We never get to a point and stop growing. Growth continues, and that is why we are here every week learning and improving on ourselves. So thank you very much. Remember to build your grit muscle. Remember to model grit to your child. So thank you very much for joining me. I believe you've had a great time. Till I come your way next time, and bye.